This is Ann Davis, and I'm sitting here today with Niota Mayor Lois Preece. Lois, I'm so glad that you joined us. Thank you for agreeing to do this interview. We're very proud of your accomplishments, and here in year 2022, you and I both have seen a lot of changes through the years.
Yes, we have, and thank you for the invitation to be here.
You're so welcome. Lois, I want to just start out with finding out what shaped you into the woman you are today. Could you tell us a little bit about your childhood?
Yes. I grew up in a very, very stable home. I had two parents who managed to give individual attention to all of us, which sounds strange, but I had 5 brothers, and I'm next to the youngest. And every one of us felt special. And even today, we go back and just think of what our parents have done for us and how lucky we were to have the home that we had. And we're a very close-knit family. Like when we have our family reunions, we're all across the country, from California to Maine, but there'll be 40 to 45, 50 of us there at once, which is fabulous.
That is. That's substantial.
And being the only girl, my brothers told me I learned to stand up for myself. And I think that's one of the skills that you need in life.
Absolutely. Now, you were raised in...
I was raised in a small town in upstate New York, Niota. It's about the same size as Athens, except we had 2 colleges instead of 1. But it was very similar. The landscape was the same. It was the foothills of the Catskills. We're here with the foothills of the Smokies.
And where did you attend school, Lois?
I got my bachelor's degree from State University of New York at Geneseo, my master's from, again, a state school, Albany, New York, and then I came south and got my administration and supervision degree from University of Tennessee, both Knoxville and Chattanooga.
Okay. I didn't realize you were educated in New York, part of your education there.
Basically before I came down.
Right. And this all prepared you for
being
your
the
role
mayor.
of, well, and also you were principal then.
I was
first,
principal.
weren't
I
you?
started out as a self-contained special ed teacher where you had the same kids all day long. And then I moved south, and it was more of a pull-out system, but I worked as a special ed teacher for 26 years. And I really needed a change. So during that last couple of years I was at the high school, I needed to change, but I brought my kids with me because they graduated 8th grade and went to 9th.
Right.
And then I came back as principal. And being principal kind of gave me use of my administrative skills, the supervision things that I learned, budgeting. It was a whole new skill set.
Right.
And I loved all of my jobs. I loved teaching and I loved being principal. Every day was different.
That's wonderful.
You could set goals and go after them.
And I think you had such a good reputation as a strong, fair principal, and I think that says a lot for your character. Now, how many years were you principal, Lois?
I was principal for 12 years.
12, okay. And then you retired.
Yes.
I
I retired from teaching.
And then your next career.
started 2 weeks before my retirement.
Okay. You want to tell us a little bit about...
It started kind of in May. The city of Niota did not have a mayor. The mayor resigned just a few months into his term. And someone came over and kept sitting at my desk and saying, "You ought to be mayor." I said, "I don't think so." And it went on, and I went to a meeting, and the first meeting was in May, and the person that nominated me as mayor could not get a second. And that was more because of who he was, not because of who I was. They just figured I would vote his way. And so they advertised in the newspaper for a mayor, which I think is funny, and I'm the only one that applied.
Oh my goodness, that's a funny story.
And so 2 weeks before my retirement took effect, I was appointed mayor and took over the meeting immediately. Like that was the first line of business, was elect me as mayor.
And then handed you the gavel.
and handed me the gavel.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And come June, I will be in there for 11 years and enjoyed all of it. There's been a lot of turmoil at the very, very beginning, kind of when the city lost its insurance, trying to get through that and get us back in good standing with, right now it's public entity partners. But we managed to do that. It was just setting a plan, setting your goals, and going after them, and having the help from the agencies that support cities were always right there in your pocket. You would call them up and they would say, you can outlast those people. You got this. And it was so great to have encouragement from the outside besides the citizens within the city.
Well, now you're involved, I know MTAS has been
and Southeast Development District.
Have been lots of help to all cities, and
They're the ones that I kept calling for help, and they would be my moral support.
That's wonderful. And aren't you serving on one of the state boards now?
I'm on the Public Entity Partners, which was the former pool, which is the insurance company for the municipalities within the state of Tennessee.
And I don't know if you knew this or not, but Mitch Moore helped start that.
I did not know that.
He did. He had an idea that we needed more liability insurance within cities, and he helped start that organization. And it's turned out to be one of the biggest, best things that ever happened to the state.
Yes, because it's a great insurance company with the benefits they offer and the prices that they charge. I found out about their prices when we didn't have insurance and we had to go to the private market. It was outrageous.
Yeah, makes a big difference. Now, you were elected mayor 11 years ago. Is that right?
I was elected mayor in 2014.
Okay.
I had already served 3 years on an appointment. And I come up again this November.
Good.
And I said along the line, people asked me several years ago, I said, my body, if I'm physically able and my brain works, yes. And so far, it's a yes for November.
I understand. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure that a lot of other people are glad to hear that too.
It's a job that I truly enjoy.
Yeah, it's very gratifying work, isn't it?
It really is. And again, it's different every day. City of Niota has lots of projects going on. We're getting to where we have some kind of an event. Well, right now with Bingo, we have an event every month. And the next one coming up in 2 weeks is our model train show, which we started a lot of new things.
Right. Well, that keeps the interest level.
Yes, keeps us hopping.
Yeah, creates a little more work. But tell me, what are some of your most memorable projects while you've been in office?
I think that all of the updating that we have done to the Niota Depot to bring it from just a building up to a showcase. We've spent a lot of money, but basically almost all of it has been not taxpayer money. It's been through grants, proceeds from our Fried Green Tomato Festival, some motel tax money, but it's been through hard work and savings that we've been able to do this. But we really have made an improvement with new decking, rails, drainage, gutters. Inside we have new lighting, flooring, and finally heat and air.
It's beautiful what you've done. It really looks nice, Lois, and I know that's been a long
It's been a long project. There's been several others involved, but I mean, I'm so glad that I was part of that program.
Now, when was that built?
1854.
1854.
It's the oldest depot in the state that's still standing. And if you go inside, you can see the graffiti dating back to the Civil War. It has gun ports in there from the soldiers because it was dry encampment. And whatever army was in there wanted to be sure they kept it. Because there's one door in the back of the depot that Confederate soldier signed his name on the wall and then put Confederate States of America, the CSA, after it, and then a Union soldier signed down at the bottom of the same door and marked his US. And it's just kind of nice. It's like history is right there at the end of your fingers.
Right. And now another big project you, I think, were instrumental in is the Fried Green Tomatoes Festival.
That had already started when I became mayor.
Okay.
Maybe may have started that year because we're having our 10th celebration this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we had one year where we didn't have it, so that would make it, the year I came into office was the year that started. And that's been started by the Niota Depot Committee, which I am part of, and then we just have kept promoting it and growing it.
Oh, good.
And that's the second Saturday of May, or second Saturday of September every year.
Every year.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else special that pops into your memory?
I've kind of enjoyed, it sounds strange for a woman, I enjoy my visits to the sewer plant.
Well, that's fine. Good. I'm glad we need those people, don't we?
And I basically have been over the sewer plant since I became mayor.
Yeah.
And learning the ins and outs and how it runs and the funding for it and how to get the grants to keep it growing good. But we do have, I know that sounds strange,
No.
but that's my next stop this morning.
Well, I'm just glad you've got that interest, and I'm sure a lot of people in Niota appreciate that very much.
It's just strange.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I enjoy the people that I work with, and I like being able to look out and see the projects that we have completed. Mm-hmm. And you can look out our window and see the 19th Amendment mural down in the end of what was our library, which eventually will become a museum and gift shop. And then, I mean, we're looking across the street, we have new stores going in where J. Ben Forrest had his furniture store. Mm-hmm. We have a stage which we're bidding out, an outdoor stage.
Good.
Used for all of our entertainment, but then it also can be part of our wedding venue. Our depot is used for wedding receptions and weddings, and then this would just add to it.
Right. Good.
And all these different things that we do, just like the rental of the depot, raises money to put back into whatever it is we want, because if it's a need that the city has, it's tax money. Mm-hmm. If it's a want, we have to raise the money, because tax money will not be spent for a want.
That's a good policy, and I think it builds confidence in your citizens.
Because you can look and see what all we have done, which are wants, but we've accomplished them. I think our only one, we got a new playground probably about 8-9 years ago, which half of it was city taxes and the other half was grant money, but still, that was a city project. That was a need when you saw what we had.
Well, Lois, you've broken some glass ceilings in your lifetime as a woman, and I think back. Of course, you were the first principal.
I was the only female principal.
That's in Tennessee at that time?
No, in McMinn County.
In McMinn County.
But I was the second one, but I lasted a lot longer.
Okay.
I remember when I was introduced to the teachers when we have our big yearly meeting, all I could say was, and when we go to conventions, I won't have to stand in line for the restrooms. Because there was not very many female principals.
Right. That's true. That is true.
And then being mayor, I've been the longest lasting female mayor. And I will say the skill set I learned as being principal is the skill set that I just crossed the highway with to become mayor. All the things that I learned for that job are very, very useful in this job.
Absolutely.
Especially the budgeting.
I can understand that. Lois, one of the things that comes to mind when I think of Niota, and this is, I'm getting a little off track
That's
here,
all right.
things that we discussed, but the all-female city council you had, that was a story that I think will stay with many people for many years. And that was a glass ceiling that was broken there, definitely.
Definitely, because they were on a Johnny Carson show, and they were a good group. They did some things.
Absolutely.
And there's only one out of that group who is still living.
Boots
Snyder.
Mm-hmm. Well, looking back, what influences or people contributed to shaping your life as it is today and helped you become the woman you are? Is there any people or any certain influential things that happened to you?
I think my mother. I think I would be a lot like my mother if she had lived in a different generation. She was born in 1905. And today, I can see me and her being an awful lot alike. I don't know if my brothers do, but I do. I think, yes, some of the supervisors I had when I was principal kind of gave me the confidence to move on to do more things. And then to have to be recruited makes you feel that you must have something out there that they want, the leadership skills or something. And then within the office, I've got a fantastic CMFO who has taught me how to soften emails and phone calls and things so I'm not so direct. And she's influenced my life a lot. Jeannie Anderson.
Yes. She's a fine lady. Well, Lois, do you have any stories that stand out in your mind of anything that's happened in Niota while you've been mayor that you would want to, or wouldn't mind sharing with us?
I'm amazed at the number of students that come in, or people that come in. Oh, you were my principal, you were my teacher. that I'm a known quality besides being principal.
Absolutely.
And stories? I can't think of anything right off the top of my mind. I just know it's a job I love.
That's wonderful. Well, I just enjoyed interviewing you. As many years as we've known each other, Lois, there was things that I didn't know you were educated in New York, and so I've learned quite a bit today.
I didn't move down here until 1975.
Okay. And did you meet your husband?
I met him just. We came down for him to go to school.
Okay.
And I had to find a job. But I was a special ed teacher in New York, so it wasn't hard.
And is there anything else that you would like to add?
I just think Niota is a wonderful place to live. We have that small town feeling. Even though we're growing going to be quite quickly, but it's all on the outskirts, so it will not affect the downtown area. And then the things that we have to show, like the depot, our murals, the caboose even. We have the history, it's there. People just need to come in and look at it.
Excellent. You know, Lois, I've always felt like we had the best of both worlds living right in this area because we had the small town benefits
Yes.
of raising our children in this kind of atmosphere that we're in, but in 45 minutes to an hour we could be in Knoxville or Chattanooga or even Nashville or Atlanta within 3 hours. And I've always felt like we really had a lot of benefits to being here, and I'm sure you do
Yes,
as well, don't you?
Where I grew up, it was about 2 hours to Albany.
Yeah.
And that would be where we would go if we really wanted to. Well, we didn't go very often.
Mm-hmm.
Or New York City. I know we went there once a year. And that's because my father had to deal with one of the hotel owners, because it's hard to take 6 kids anyplace.
Yeah. I would guess so. So, but now are most of your siblings still living?
I have 3 brothers left.
Well, it
Yeah.
sounds like you had a wonderful family.
I had a wonderful family. I had a wonderful bringing up. And all of that, I think, has shaped me into the woman that I am today.
Well, we're so blessed to have you in this area. We truly are, Lois, and your talents and, as you said, the skill sets that you possess have just benefited our whole region, and we appreciate everything that you've done because I know it's a labor of love, and
I love it.
and it shows. It certainly does show.
And I have never thought about moving back north. This is my home. This is where I raised my child.
Good. Well, we definitely want to keep you.
I'm not going anyplace.
Okay. Lois, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us today. I
Thank
truly
you for
do
having me.
appreciate it.